no. We're good, Christian. Thank you. 30.
30 top show, 30 top show.
We'll make it work. $15. Stand by, CG4. In 10, I gotcha. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. CG4's up.
Live from the Triangle, this is WNCN News at 7.
The police van came and turned the corner, and the door just flew open. I thought it was a joke.
Right now at 7, a daring inmate escape in Raleigh. 2 men back in custody tonight following a massive manhunt. Good evening, I'm Sharon Tazwell.
And I'm Sean Maroney. Thanks for joining us. The Lincoln County Sheriff's van was on its way to Central Prison when the 2 men jumped out of the back of it on Western Boulevard near I-440. Police arrested them about an hour later in a nearby neighborhood. WNCN's Maggie Newland is live in Raleigh with more on how it all unfolded. Maggie?
She's up. Package B, Bravo, cone up.
Sean, neighbors tell us the prisoners were captured in the area of that storage shed right there. But for nearly an hour, police didn't know where they were. And the manhunt was intense.
Sound B, take.
It has been a very different day.
It was very intense. Very intense.
Neighbors in Raleigh suddenly found themselves in the middle of a manhunt after 2 prisoners escaped from a transport van about 9:45 in the morning.
The police van came and turned the corner, and the door just flew open. I thought it was a joke. And you see 2 dudes just take off running.
We were transporting some inmates in our county van. We had 2 of our escaped from the back of our transport van.
After the escape near Western Boulevard and Kent Road, officers filled the area looking for any sign of Logan Long and DeMarcus Dixon. 2 nearby schools were placed on lockdown and neighbors hid in their houses.
A neighbor across the street came out and said, there's some prisoners in our neighborhood, go in and lock your doors.
Betsy Meldow says she stayed away from the windows because she didn't want her grandson to be frightened. But she heard police and canines in the area.
Dog started barking
just those last couple words. Thank you.
Loudly and very fast.
Just after 10:30 a.m., police say both prisoners were caught.
I was leaving my daughter a voicemail to tell her that they had been apprehended, and I said, I don't know where they are. And that's when I realized what it was. I said, oh my God, they're in my front yard.
Police say they were found hiding in a storage shed. Betsy Meldow said she didn't realize until after the prisoners had been caught that storage shed was in her yard. She also found evidence of the search.
There was a shirt that said Correctional Enterprise.
Neighbors snapped cell phone video of the inmates back in police custody before they were put in police cars, now facing escape charges. Their freedom lasted less than an hour.
Liker, she's up.
Stand by her, stand by.
Stand by CG4 out to camera 2.
And we're told that shed is rarely used. It's almost obscured by brush, a pretty good hiding place. But neighbors tell us they are grateful that law enforcement caught these guys fairly quickly. We're live in Raleigh. Maggie Newland, WNCN News.
They're clear.
And tonight we're also learning why, more why about how the 2 men were in prison.
Well, we spent the day digging into their backgrounds. WNCN's David Hurst is live with what he found. David.
He's up.
Sharon, Sean, these 2 guys have been convicted on several crimes in Lincoln County, that's west of Charlotte, and the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office has now opened an investigation into how these guys were able to escape.
Sound C, take.
DeMarcus Dixon and Logan Long were on their way to the Polk Correctional Center near Buckner when they made an attempt to get away. Their freedom lasted barely an hour as a canine unit tracked down the 2 men after a neighbor spotted them and called 911.
It's an old neighborhood. Lots of people have garages and storage sheds and lots of woods. So this neighborhood's a great neighborhood to hide in.
Both inmates have lengthy criminal backgrounds. Dixon's past charges include robbery with a dangerous weapon, burglary, larceny, and breaking and entering. He was scheduled to be released in July of 2016. Long is considered a habitual felon and has been convicted on charges of larceny, assault, breaking and entering, among others. He was expected to be released June 2021. Both men have been charged with felony escape, which police say will add a significant amount of time to their sentences. The 2 inmates who were seen laughing while being booked in jail are being held on $1 million bonds.
He's up.
And these transport vans are required to be checked before they leave. According to state policy, the drivers are also make sure that these vans are locked at all times. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, once they get that van back, they will be looking into how these prisoners were able to get away and if any of those policies were violated.
Mike Sean,
reporting live tonight in Raleigh, David Hurst, WNCN News.
Our other top story tonight, part of a major road in Raleigh is still closed after a fire at a dry cleaners. It happened just before 2 this afternoon at the Brothers Cleaners on Atlantic Avenue near Millbrook Road. WNCN's Lauren Havlin has the story.
Sound A, White.
Investigators are still trying to determine what caused a fire at a business off Atlantic Avenue. Raleigh firefighters say they arrived at Brothers Cleaners just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Heavy black smoke was coming out of the building. Firefighters told WNCN the fire had made so much progress before they arrived. They had a tough time actually getting to it. Brothers Cleaners has a lot of damage. We're not sure if it's destroyed at this point. No other businesses were affected. Again, tonight the main focus is trying to determine what caused this fire. In Raleigh, Lauren Havlin, WNCN News.
CG4 up.
And looking outside, a warm and cloudy end to the work week. Our 6th day in a row with cloudy skies. Here's a live look at traffic on 440 on this Friday night. It's moving pretty well out there. Chief Meteorologist Wes Hohenstein is here now with more, though, for the changes this weekend. Wes?
Yeah, unfortunately, one thing that's not going to change, we'll have our 7th day in a row of cloudy skies tomorrow. Now, today, we had a little bit of rain earlier right there. That fizzled out, left us with cloudy skies tonight, and maybe a couple drops of drizzle or mist. Nothing more than that tonight. But it could be a lot more than that tomorrow as this cold front heads towards North Carolina tomorrow night. Showers will arrive as early as tomorrow morning. So tonight we'll keep the clouds around. Temperatures hold around 70 degrees, dry and cloudy overnight, maybe an isolated shower early tomorrow, but 65 degrees. That cold front will change that number, morning temperatures, very drastically as we head into early next week. I'll tell you how cold it's going to get, and we'll take you through tomorrow's rain chances hour by hour in just a few minutes.
Who killed Antoine Jones?
That's a question Cumberland County deputies have been trying to answer for 14 years. Jones's body was found in a wooded area on Gills Road in November of 2001. Sheriff deputies say someone shot him to death. His last cell phone call was traced to a Morganton police apartment complex. Deputies have questioned several persons of interest, but there have been no arrests. His parents just want closure.
Sound C, White, pretty super in.
Was very, quiet son.
A big brother. Stand by Sharon's mic.
Stayed in his room drawing. Took care of his little brothers while I worked all the time. He was a big brother.
Mike?
At the time of his death, Jones was in his first year of college. A $6,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest. And registered sex offenders will not be allowed to use social media in our states. The North Carolina Supreme Court made the ruling today. It reverses a previous decision by the State Court of Appeals. The General Assembly passed the ban back in 2008. It also included sentencing requirements for child predators who use the internet to target victims.
Tonight, a state lawmaker is requesting a legislative hearing into prison maintenance contracts. He has some questions if proper procedures were followed. Documents obtained by WNCN show Department of Public Safety Secretary Frank Perry and State Budget Director Lee Roberts disagreed about whether the state should renew the contracts with Charlotte company, the Keith Corporation. The chairman of the corporation reportedly said he had given money to candidates running for public office, and it was now time for him to get something in return. According to the News and Observer, this case is getting the attention of FBI agents. House Minority Leader Larry Hall says it's time for a legislative committee to take a closer look at this matter when it meets in a couple of weeks. And an update tonight on the hacking investigation at a Wake County high school. The principal at Panther Creek notified people yesterday that someone got in the system and changed some seniors' grades. It also affected the class rankings for most seniors. Cary police are still trying to track down those responsible. Today we spoke with a cybersecurity expert who says based on how the software is set up, police should already know who got into the system.
Classically, people think, oh,
12 seconds. Cue is name and password. Stand by Sean's mic.
What happened here has got to be that a teacher, somehow their credentials were compromised. username and password.
Mike.
Coming up tonight at 11, the experts give us a closer look at what steps the school system takes to prevent hackers from getting in and what challenges remain.
And tonight, we're hearing from the Duke student targeted by a homophobic death threat. It was written on a wall in his residence hall. And today, hundreds of students rallied in support of the student. WNCN Steve Sprasia has the story.
Soundy take.
In just 5 words and an @ symbol,
Standard out.
my sense of security and safety on this campus was shattered.
Freshman Jack Donahue was referring to this homophobic death threat scrawled on the wall of his residence hall Thursday morning.
I was told about it before I saw it. My dean came in and showed it to me. And that was the only moment that I broke down.
This afternoon, hundreds of students came to support Jack.
That sort of thing is not okay on this campus. It's not okay to speak violently to individual students or to any student that identifies with a marginalized sexual orientation on campus.
As campus police continue to investigate the incident, some students are calling for more immediate action on the part of the administration. To start, they would like the school to adopt a zero-tolerance policy.
I think that's something that the administration needs to think about and to work for and act on behalf of the students to truly protect us at this university.
I'm a freshman on campus, but I've lived proudly out and visible in my time here at Duke. I am Jack. I do not deserve this treatment, and no one deserves this treatment.
In Durham, I'm Steve Sprasia, WNCN News.
And this isn't the first controversy on the Duke campus this year. In April, a student hung a noose in a tree near the Bryan Center Plaza. It sparked protests and outrage on campus. The university later disciplined the students.
With his poll numbers in the single digits, it's no secret that Jeb Bush is looking to revive his campaign.
Next at 7, the former Florida governor makes a stop in Raleigh. Why supporters are optimistic he'll turn it around.
Plus, how solar panels are helping some low-income residents keep the lights on in Durham.
In 3, 2, 1, 135 to West.